A compact crossover typically stands out among its peers about as much as an emperor penguin does while chilling on an ice floe with 100 or so of his mates. Yet the 2015 Ford Escape manages to not only distinguish itself with its chiseled good looks, but also garner critical praise thanks to its sharp handling, comfortable seating, and high-end interior touches. So, let's go ahead and check out this 2015 Ford Escape. Now, the Ford Escape is also based on the Ford Focus, and especially in the interior, you can see some Ford Focus high-end interior touches. It really looks like a Focus, especially on the interior. And then it has the driving dynamics of a Focus as well. Now, the Escape is also based on the same platform as the all-new 2015 Lincoln MKC. I also have a review on that car. But of course, today we will be only reviewing the Ford Escape. Now here's the key fob design for the vehicle. Now I'm not really a big fan of this key fob design. It really reminds me of the late 2000s, but a smart key is available. But there's nothing like Switchblade or anything like that on this key. It's kind of just a regular old key from Ford. But you do have your lock, unlock, and then your panic button right here. Now, of course, styling on the vehicle is very European flavored, and I quite like it a lot. It's very distinctive, also very chiseled with its good looks. Now, when the Escape, this third generation, came out in 2013, it was really only one of the few crossovers to have a super high quality interior design and high-end tech features as well. Now, our trim of the Escape we have here is also the SE model. It is a silver exterior color, of course, with a two-toned black and gray cloth interior. Your power driver's seat controls, your power lumbar, your power recline. Now, stepping on into the interior of the Escape, as you can see, the interior is very stylish, very high-end, and looks very premium as well. Now, the step-in height for the vehicle is pretty average for the class. It has a pretty low step-in height, but it's nothing like how a traditional body-on-frame SUV is. And that's one of the benefits of having a compact crossover. Now, push-button ignition is available when you get the smart key. And I love that Ford chime. Very quiet startup. Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability. And you put it into the S mode. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera, of course. And if you get the My Ford Touch system, it will display on the My Ford Touch system. And you also do have guidance lines. Here's your e-brake right here. And let's go ahead and turn on the lights. And the hazards as well. Automatic driver's side window. And let's go ahead and pop the hood and check out the engine bay. Blind spot mirror. Halogen headlights with your halogen fog lights. LED daytime running lights are also available, and HIDs as well. Under the hood, you will find a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo powertrain, EcoBoost. Now, this motor provides 240 horses with 270 pound-feet of torque. and EPA estimates of 21 in the city and 28 on the highway, which is a very great number. This powertrain is very fuel efficient. Now there's essentially also two other powertrains you can get on the Escape. The 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbo, and then you have a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. If you want the most power out of the Escape, then you definitely want to go with this 2 liter 4-cylinder turbo. A lot of other compact crossovers don't even offer 240 horses, as some of them, like the RAV4, gave up their V6, or they just don't even offer an optional powertrain. Now this Escape is also all-wheel drive, by the way, and with the EPA estimates being 21 in the city and 28 on the highway with this powertrain, that is a very respectable number. And of course, with the agile handling and this powertrain, it makes for a even more fun to drive Escape. And mated with the 6-speed automatic transmission, it makes for a pretty responsive pair as well. Now trims of the Escape start at the S model, which starts at $23,100. Then you have the SE, which starts at $25,550. And then you have the fully loaded titanium, which starts at $29,510. This model right here is the titanium trim. Now competitors of the Escape are some of its long-term rivals, the Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, Nissan Rogue. You also have the Mazda CX-5 as well. Total vehicle price for this particular Escape is $28,900. I also really like these 17-inch aluminum wheels, which give the Escape a more premium look on this SC trim. Now coming to the rear, you have more of that European flavored styling. Dual exhaust tips on this car, which comes with the 2 liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost motor. Then you have your EcoBoost badging. Rear window wiper with a rear window defroster as well. Your power windows, mirrors, and your power door locks. Armrest is also nice and soft to the touch, and on the upper door panel as well, which are the most important places. And let's go ahead and rev up the Escape and see how she sounds. Very nice. Now, like I said earlier in the video, one of the key strengths of the Escape is that it has a very high quality interior. For example, this dashboard right here, all these pieces are in a nice soft touch padding. It also fits together pretty well also. And then, like I said, you have a nice soft touch armrest. Everything just feels very high quality and premium inside, which is a very important factor. It's also nice and stitched on the armrest and also very padded as well. Coming to the center stack controls here, I do have a huge ergonomic gripe here. As you can see, the gear shifter is into the park position, and as you can see, it makes it hard for you to reach certain buttons. As you can see right here, it's actually kind of hard to reach this right here. But you do have your fan speeds, your different temperatures, and then your different zones right here. But that is a huge ergonomic flaw. And then you have your recycling mode right here. But I do like how the buttons are very clear and very well labeled. I think that's the most important part. And then you have your rear window defroster button right there. Coming down here, you have your 12-volt power outlet, your cup holders. Right here you have an auxiliary input, a USB port, Center console is actually pretty small when it comes to its width and its length. However, it's very deep. Now, coming to these controls right here, I do not like the busy design of them. They're just it's not a clean looking design. I would definitely probably go with the My4 Touch system on this car if I was getting an Escape. But you do have your radio, your Sirius satellite radio, your different media options, which includes auxiliary input, Bluetooth streaming audio, and then your USB port, of course. And then you have your Bluetooth phone capabilities. You also have Microsoft Sync. You can go to your different menu, but you can sync your phone. You can go to your display settings, your language. However, the rendering of that little screen right there is actually pretty good, and it's very clear and easy to read despite how tiny it is. However, I just do not like this design. I would definitely go with the My4 Touch system. And then over here, this reminds me of a Mercedes, and I don't know why they would do this, but they have your dial buttons right here for your numbers for your phone, and I don't get why manufacturers still do that today. But basically, you also do have your AM, FM, and your CD player as well. Your optical disc drive is right here, and a lot of cars nowadays are actually getting rid of a CD player. Coming up here, you have your manual dimming rearview mirror, of course, sunglass container, and then your interior illumination lighting is located right here, LEDs. Coming to the steering wheel design, I love the steering wheel design of the Escape. I've always been a huge fan of the new Escape's steering wheel design as well as the Focus. But I love how thick it is. You feel very confident behind the steering wheel of how thick this rim is. But the design of it looks very high quality. You have your cruise control buttons right here, your steering wheel mounted audio controls, as well as your Bluetooth phone control buttons. And then these setup buttons right here control your infotainment screen right there, and then these setup buttons control your center screen right there, which I will get to in just a second. Now coming down here, you also do have a manual tilt and telescopic steering wheel, which has a pretty nice range of adjustment, I have to say. Now coming to the handling of the vehicle, like I said before, the handling of the Escape is very agile. It's pretty fun to drive compared to some competitors in the class, like the Nissan Rogue and the Toyota RAV4. Visibility out of this car can be a lot better though. It's pretty average for the class. It's not as good as, say, a Honda CR-V. However, the outward visibility is not the best either, and the glass area can be a little bit better. And then you have a massive, huge C-pillar back there. Seating comfort, it's okay, but however, when I get to the rear, I will show you in just a second that the rear seats are not as good as the front seats. But however, they are lacking a little bit of thigh support, but is much worse in the rear seats. And I don't have too much support, especially with the side bolsters. They just don't hug you in enough, and they don't provide that much padding either. They're actually kind of on the firm side. The seats are just not that comfortable. I've definitely seen better. Coming to the center screen right here, this is gonna basically show you all your vehicle information, and you'd have different vehicle customization settings. But you have your trip odometer on here, and then your intelligent all-wheel drive system, and then you have your Ford MyKey. You can run a system check as well. You have your driver assistance, like your traction control. You can change different settings for the display. And then you have your integrated compass right there as well. But overall, I love the rendering of this center screen right here. It's very clear and easy to read, just like that center screen right there. Now, as far as room goes in this cabin, it's not as airy feeling as, say, a Honda CR-V, which is a very important factor for a compact crossover. It's just slightly confining feeling inside of this cabin here. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the Escape, and let's go ahead and check out the trunk capacity as well as the rear seat space. A power tailgate is also optional, and also a hands-free liftgate as well.